Okay, welcome to our Team Tenacity call tonight, guys. I am super pumped to have one of my colleagues and friends from Team Inspiration on the call. So Jessica Weyerts is going to talk to us tonight about something that we, a lot of us on our team have really been struggling with, and Joelle and I have been talking for quite a few months about having this topic gone over. And so a little bit about Jessica. She's a 1-star diamond. Her team is called Team Fix Her Upper. She is always at the top of Team Inspiration's charts and is number 416 in the company right now. So out of over 430,000 coaches, that's quite an accomplishment, especially halfway through the year. So I hope everyone will have ears wide open, take notes, ask her questions, because she is doing us a huge favor by getting on here. So she's going to talk for a bit, kind of about, I'm going to let her say what she's going to talk about, and then please write down what you want to ask her, because I want to hear some major questions. Okay, take it away.
Yay! Okay, here's how I'm going to start this, though. Most people talk to you, like they get on a call like this and they tell you their story, right? I'm going to tell you about the last 15 minutes before I jumped on this call. I thought of probably 7 different reasons why I should cancel and not do it. I went to the bathroom probably 3 times. I wanted to throw up. I wanted to cry. Wanted to hide. My husband or my son has baseball practice, and I legit was going to use that. I'm sorry, I've got to take him to baseball practice. You guys just have to do your call on your own. And why is that? Because I have my biggest fear in life is anything to do with any group of people. I have severe social anxiety. It's crippling for me. And the Jessica, when I first started coaching, well, I started in a challenge group, and the thought of putting my selfie in a group of people that I didn't know was no, I'm okay. I'll just be a wallflower and I'll let them inspire me, and that will be great. And then I realized that in order to hold myself accountable, I really had to show up and do that. Then I became a coach, and Micah started talking to me about personal development. Well, let me back up. One of the things I wanted to say was, and the main topic, I'm going to talk about my social anxiety, but if you have notes, I want you to write down your 3 biggest fears, your 3 biggest objections that you have for yourself with this business as a coach. Mine, I'll tell you my top 4. One of them isn't my excuse anymore, but the objections that I have is that I have social anxiety. It's my number 1 excuse for all things in life, especially when it comes to coaching. I don't want people to see my stuff. I'm worried about seeing someone on the street that has seen my stuff. We're going to talk more about that. So I take a second and really write them down. Think about your biggest objections. Mine are, like I said, I have social anxiety. I don't have time. I'm not fit. And when I was pregnant, my biggest one was that I can't work out, because I was on bed rest when I was pregnant 8 months ago. So those are mine. I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to write those down, because I think that's really important. Your own objections, whether it's fear-based like mine with anxiety or whatever, maybe you don't have social anxiety, maybe you have another issue. Those are the objections that you're going to face when you have challengers coming to you for help, because like attracts like, right? So people are going to come to you that have those same fears, and you have to be able to give them the tools to overcome that. And the only way that you're going to be able to do that is to overcome those things yourself. Okay? So whether it's coaches that have those same fears as you or challengers that have those same fears as you, it's important to know what your own objections are. Did I give you enough time? Okay. So how do I deal with my social anxiety? Let me tell you a story. the first diamond retreat that I qualified for. Micah did it in Utah, and that's where I'm from. And I like legit held myself back in my business to not qualify. Didn't want to qualify because I didn't want to have to go with all these people that I didn't know and be around them and have them judge me, and who knows what they were going to think of me. All of those fears that I had. So then Micah asked me, because I do photography, she asked me to do the team photo shoot. And I was like, shoot. Okay. Yeah, I can do that. And then she was like, I know you didn't qualify, but I want you to come to everything because if you're doing the shoot and I want you to get to know these girls. Obviously she knew that was a big fear of mine. And that was probably the biggest blessing in my life, because it taught me that the best way to overcome whatever fear, whatever your own objection is, the best way to overcome it is just to face it right in the face. Have you ever heard face fear in the face, right? Like you have to just do it. So whatever holds you back with your business, one of the other things that held me back was that I didn't want certain people to see my posts. So posting so that you can, in the drop down, select who is seeing your posts and who's not, that took away that anxiety from me. Does everybody know how to do that? Like you can post to certain groups. I have my friends separated on my friends lists into like challenger prospects and coaching prospects. And then my other friends, and then I have family all in one group. And then I have like coworkers and one of my bosses. And so then when I post, I can just post except my family that I know will judge me. I can post except for my boss that I don't want to see my current post. And that took a lot of the fear out for me as well, just because I didn't have to worry about what someone was thinking about me, if that makes sense. But then how did I get to the point where I could do a call like this? More than my physical transformation, more than the number on the scale for me, more than any of that, personal development is why I continue to coach. When people say, think for a second, if Carl Deichler called you tomorrow and said, hey, sorry, like Tyra, you guys know Tyra Beauty, if they just took Beachbody away from us today, what would you miss in life? Like, what would you be like, oh, shoot, I miss this so much about Beachbody. How would that affect you? And honestly, for me, that it was personal development. I would not do it if it wasn't something that was so important with coaching and so stressed with coaching. Some of my favorite books for dealing with this, I really think it comes, since social anxiety is like a fear-based topic, it's a fear-based anxiety. Confidence is a big thing. So I read a lot of books on just remembering my own worth, that my story is important and that other people do need to hear it, because there are other people out there like me that let themselves stand in their own way from living the life that they want, from making their dreams happen. And if I don't share my story with other people, they're not going to realize that they're capable of changing their lives as well. So Mastering Your Mean Girl is a book that is, if you haven't read it, I want you to download it on Audible or buy it on it, put it on in your Amazon cart today. And I want you to like sincerely make that a focus. Jody, don't hate me for saying this, but I don't care if you don't work out until you read this book. Like, you read this book for 30 minutes before you work out. Because, and I don't think, realizing your own worth, realizing that you are just as valuable as anyone else, and that anxiety voice that Jessica in my head that tells me that I'm not worth it, that Jessica in my head that tells me that those people over there are judging me, that Jessica in my head that says that I'm not as good of a coach as 90, I don't know. I compare myself sometimes to every single coach on Inspiration, and I feel like I'm not good enough. And that's the mean girl in my head. And when she starts taking over and I let her take over, and then I get that anxious feeling in the pit of my stomach that I'm not capable and I should just probably not do this because I have all these other things going on in my life, that it would be really, 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 really easy for me to quit coaching. It'd be really easy. But that mean girl, if I can shut her up for just a second, then it's like it takes the blinders off and you see the possibilities around you. The only way to take those blinders off in the morning is really to do your personal development. So mastering your mean girl, gifts of imperfection is a really, really good one. And I Am That Girl is another one of my top. Like, those 3 books should be something that you read from if you're like me every day. One of those 3 every day. I could read those same 3 books all the time and get something else different and like have it pump me up to realize that I am good enough. I am worth it. I'm as good as anyone else. I'm capable of anything I ever wanted to make happen. Okay, so personal development. If you're not doing that, stop lying to yourself that it doesn't matter. I told myself that for a long time. I don't need to do personal development. That is a big fat lie. You need personal development no matter where you are in your life. And now, Jody, you probably, and I don't know, Aubrey, do you walk down the street or even talk to your like neighbors or friends and stuff, and then all of a sudden you're like, in your head, you're like, oh dude, you need to read this book because you know how much it would help them with whatever they're talking to you about. So make that a priority for your life. Daily affirmations. Does anybody do daily affirmations? Yeah. Okay. The way that I do my affirmations that I think really started to make a difference is that I add 1 affirmation a week. Okay. So I started with 10. And if you don't have 10, I want you to come up with 10 tonight, your 10 daily affirmations. And I want you to post them in your team page with Jody in a thread, your 10 daily affirmations that you're going to say to yourself every single morning when you're showering. That's when I say mine. Maybe you say them on your drive to work. And you say them out loud. Don't just read over your affirmations and think them. I want you to say them out loud, and I want you to say them with as much emotion as, how many of you guys are moms? Yeah? Okay. I have a daughter, she's 9, and she dances, and I see a lot of myself in her. And so we've been working on confidence. And so she's saying daily affirmations. When you say your affirmations, I want you to say them like you're saying them to your own child that you wholeheartedly believe in. When you say, you are beautiful. I know for me, I used to say that to myself way different than I would say it to my daughter. Look my daughter in the eye and tell her she's beautiful. I want her to know how beautiful she is. And the confidence in my voice to her is going to make her believe it. So when you say your affirmations out loud, say them like you're saying them to someone that is so important to you. Maybe it's your spouse if you don't have kids, or your mom, or your best friend. Okay? You are beautiful. You are strong. You are smart. You are worth it. You are capable of making all of your dreams come true. Don't just say them out loud and saying, you're beautiful, you're smart, you're capable of anything. Like, believe it when you say it, and it will make a huge difference, okay, in your mindset. Okay, so those are my tips just on, like, how I kind of deal with my anxiety part. The other big excuse I have personally is that I don't have time. So let me tell you about my story, where it started a little bit with the business and then now where I am. When I started, I was working full time. I had 2 kids. I have a photography business. Let's think, what else did I have at that time? Yeah, I had a lot going on in my life. I was up and out the door by 6:15 in the morning. We weren't home till like 6:30 or 7. Then we ate dinner. I put my kids to bed and I edited pictures, or I went to a photo shoot. Like, I didn't have time. I didn't even have, when people said do a power hour, I didn't have an hour. Okay. But, realizing that I was a priority in my life and that I was worth just as much time as everybody else, as I was giving to everybody else, like that was a huge thing for me. So that's when I started doing my affirmations on my way to work. And I would say them out loud instead of busting out to like Beyonce or something and singing at the top of my lungs, because I sound just like her, just so you know. I do. I'm awesome. But instead of doing that, I started doing my affirmations. I would get to work like 5 minutes early and I would message 3 people before I went into the building. And then I would excuse myself to the bathroom and I would like return messages in the bathroom. Like my coworkers probably thought I was like a number 2 every time I went to the bathroom, because I took like 2 extra minutes to fit it all into my schedule. Okay. So, if that's a fear of yours, or if that's something that holds you back and an excuse that you find yourself making, know that it is possible for you to fit it in. You don't have to like sit down and like bust out a full power hour, because for me, that gave me anxiety, right? To sit down and talk and start 20 conversations all in the same hour. Like, I don't want to talk to these people. I don't want to get to know new people. I don't want to be their friends. I don't know what to say to them, because like the hey girl messages, I don't talk like that. I don't talk like that. Like, how am I supposed to talk to these people? And finding new people, like, how do I know if I want to be their friend? I don't want to be anybody's friend. I just want to sit in my room and read a book and watch Netflix. Like, I don't want to do this stuff. So sitting down to a full power hour freaked me right out. That's why I am like a big fan. That's why actually I did better when I was working full time, because I broke it up into different times of the day. Okay. So I would say to myself, okay, I'm going to set a timer, because a timer is a huge thing when you're doing this, because you've got to beat your mind. Like, you've got to actually do the work before your brain catches up with you, right? Another good book, sorry, I'm rambling, but another good book, 5-second rule, okay? You have to take action before your brain realizes what you're doing. So I would set my timer. Okay, I've got 15 minutes before I have to go into work. Okay, I'm going to expand my network. So that's all I'm focusing on for this whole time. Go. And just make new friends and take the emotion out of it and just do it. And then I would be like, okay. And then I'd come back and I would see like 3 or 4 messages in my inbox. I'd be like, okay, I don't want to talk to her. Don't want to talk to her. Okay, I'll message her back. And then I'll like comment on 5 people's posts. Okay, ready, go. And then I would message that one person back. And then I would like comment on people's stuff and give them compliments and then come back. But that's how I do my power hour. We have a message thread with Team Inspiration. Some of the people that we're all pushing for the same goals. And I can't even check into it very often. I have to like get myself in a headspace where I realize that every other person out there is at a different space in their business. This is my business. I can make it how I want it to be. If I treat it like a business, then it's totally different for me than if I think about it as like being people's friends. I know a lot of people preach about that. I know they do, But with my anxiety, I can't look at it like I'm going out to make 50 friends, or I will want to throw up. So I have to look at it with a business brain and say, I'm going to do it with I need 10 connections, and I focus on the number. Not that I don't care about people, not that I don't want to help them. I do, I genuinely do. But for me, when I take the emotion out of it, it helps me to really follow through with that stuff. Yeah, I think that's about kind of what I wanted to say, but I would love to hear questions and thoughts from you guys. Maybe I should read this over on the side. Does anybody, okay, if you're like me, then you're going to go after, okay, here, let me tell you what I'm going to do after this call. Okay. Jessica Weyerts, she's a 1-star diamond. Listen to her. She's number 416 in the company. She's so awesome, right? And then I'm going to get off this call and I'm going to overanalyze every single thing I said to you guys. I'm going to think, what was that person thinking of me? What does that person think of me now? What's going to happen? I do that with my posts. Okay, here I go. Right now, here I am. I'm adjusting my bra strap in front of y'all and I don't even care. But I would post and be like, okay, here's my transformation picture with my belly hanging out. Oh, these people are going to judge me. What are they going to think of me? They're probably going to show all their friends how I have stretch marks right there, and I'll sit and overanalyze that. So when I post vulnerable posts like that, I literally post and hand my cell phone to my husband and I tell him, I'm not going to look at that don't let me look at it for 2 hours until I can get myself in a place that I can go back and then message those people. Then I go take a bath, or I listen to some more personal development because gosh, my brain needs that. And I go back to it. And when I'm in a good mental place to respond to those people, it's way, 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 way better. And they connect with me better because I'm not just rushed. When I have anxiety and I'm messaging someone back, they can tell if I'm hurrying that message up, right? I'm short, I'm quick, blah, 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 I'm done. There's no emotion in it, and I can't connect with them. And that doesn't help them. That doesn't help me in my business. So if you're like me with that, then take the time, do a really vulnerable post, because your story is going to connect with people. And the only way people are going to know your true story is if you do share it, which makes you vulnerable, which is scary as a 4-letter word. Okay? Scary. So post, be brave, post, walk away. Those people are still going to be there. Those people are still going to want to hear from you. And the reason that they're liking your posts and then they want to hear back from you is because you are inspiring them. You're brave because they look at you and they think, I could never do that. But then if they realize that they're like you, it shows them that they can. Right? I talked about realizing that I was a priority in my life. How did I realize that? Are you a mom, Jillian? Okay. After my second baby, I had really bad postpartum depression. Really, really bad. It was really hard for me. I was not in the best mental health at all. My husband and I decided to move closer to my sister who was watching my kids. And I had to, she was babysitting my kids while I was working. We moved into this new house in an area I knew no one. I didn't know a single soul. But it was closer to my sister so she could take my kid to school. And I was already, like I said, depressed, anxious, all the time. And my sister messaged me one day and said, Jessica, I can't watch your kids anymore. I'm sorry. And I was like, oh, okay. can you watch them for a couple weeks while I find a place? And this was a Friday. And she was like, no, I'm done like today. I was like, okay, so I got to find someone to watch my kids over a weekend, right? So I found a daycare that was on the same street as my kids' school, and it worked out. And they were going there, and they would scream and cry every single time that I dropped them off. Every single time, kicking and screaming, to the point where, and my daughter was in kindergarten. My son was at that point like 2.5, kicking and screaming. They would go. I said to my husband, I can't take them anymore. You have to take them. I'll pick them up because they like to see me when I pick them up. But you have to take them to daycare because I can't do it. I cannot do it anymore. And I thought a lot of it was just a newness for them since they'd never been to a daycare, that they didn't know the person before. Anyways, long story short, and so that I don't cry here, my son was abused at that daycare. And it was not good, obviously. And I realized that I could not be the mom that he needed if I didn't take control of this business, really, which was my only way out. My only way to get home from working was this business because I wasn't going anywhere with where I was. I needed to be the best that I could be for me so that I could make this business work, so that I could give him the life that he deserves, so that I didn't have to worry about taking him anywhere anymore. And the more I think that you focus on, I think it's easy to put your kids first, right? It's easy to say, I'm going to do it for them. And I think that's how I started. I started wanting to just be the best mom for my kids that I could. And then I realized that I was a better mom when I was doing that. And it kind of all snowballed. Does that make sense? So I guess that's what I would say, reading personal development and focusing, really letting this business change your life. Because it can. That's the whole point of it. We're not selling, like, I'm sorry, but lipstick isn't going to change your life. It's not. Lipstick, nail stickers, saran wrap, like none of that is going to legit change your life. This does, because it focuses on you first. And when you're focusing on you and your bucket's full, then you can pour to other people. And when I pour to other people, I don't want to give them lipstick. When I pour to other people, I want them to feel as good as I feel now, to feel that strength that I've found. And honestly, this business can be a roller coaster. I've had times where I feel like the crappiest coach ever. I feel like Jody asked me what my accolades are. It's like, I don't know. I don't feel like I'm on top of my game. I don't feel like anybody ever feels that way. But the point of being a coach and the point of this business is to keep you accountable so that you remember that you are a priority. Because as moms, if I didn't have to do personal development every day to check the box, I wouldn't do it. And then I wouldn't be taking care of me. And everything else would go to another 4-letter word. Okay? So, okay, I hope that answers your question. How do I best reach out or connect to people when it comes to business opportunities? Okay, so actually invited to the business became something that I got really comfortable with more than challenge groups, which is probably backwards for a lot of people. So my baby's 8 months old right now, but I had a baby back in October, and from last May to October, I was on injections every single week to keep my baby in my belly, and I couldn't work out. And I tried to go on a walk up the street because my mind would go crazy that I'm not moving my body. And I would go on a walk up the street and I would start having contractions, strong contractions every 2 minutes. I would go into the hospital. They would have to give me medicine to stop them, to the point where they just gave me the pills and said, when you're having contractions every 2 minutes for an hour, you need to take these pills. And the pills they're terrible. They made me feel like crap. And so I felt like the biggest chump because I couldn't invite, I didn't feel like I could invite to challenge groups because like, how can I participate in a challenge group? I did some exercises today by texting on my phone. Like I couldn't do that. So I didn't want my business to fail because I had just quit my job. I quit my job, my full-time job last May at the beginning of summer. So end of May, beginning of summer, so that I was home with my kids for the summer. I couldn't let this business go to crap because I needed that income now. This was my source of income and I needed it. And how was I still going to hit Success Club? And how was I still going to grow my business without working out? So I became comfortable with inviting to the business. The best way for me to put it out there was every morning when I was trying to figure out, okay, what are my posts going to be for the day? I would ask myself, why are you still coaching today? Can't work out, whatever. Why are you coaching today? And maybe it was because I was home for the summer and I was watching my kids play outside and I was like, holy crap. I always wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I didn't think I'd be very good at it, but turns out I'm actually pretty awesome at it. And I would never know that I was awesome at it unless I had done this business. And I would post about that. And every single day I would find a reason that I was coaching. Why today? Why am I still coaching today? Why have I not submitted my cancellation form today? And whatever answered that question for me for that day, that's what I posted about. I didn't care if it was all the same reasons as other people. You know, it's easy to look at other coaches and follow other coaches and think, well, that's how they post. So, you know, that's how I'm going to post. Post for why you believe in this business. And that's the easiest way for me as someone with anxiety, because people then come to you and say, well, what do you mean? What do you mean this coaching thing that you're doing? Or I didn't realize, so that's part of coaching. You have to read. Like you have to actually work on yourself. Oh, that's actually pretty cool. So I did that. I get really real in my posts and try to make myself vulnerable. And then when I do like my actual invites, I'm a copy and paster. I make a list of the people that I've been talking to and connecting with, and I get really scared that I have to invite them. So I have my list, and I say, okay, and these are the 10 invites I'm going to do. And then I type something up, and I hurry and click on their name. and obviously, these are going to be all people that are like similar, right? So I'm not just sending them a crazy post or like cold message. They're all pretty similar. Like, I would love to work with you type of invite. I type something out, I change their name, and I copy and paste it. And if I'm having a really hard social anxiety day, or like a really hard inviting day, bless my husband's heart, I will say, here's what I've typed out in my phone. Here's the name of the people right here. Send that message to all of them. He doesn't know them. He doesn't care. So he'll copy and paste it for me and send them. That's why an assistant, if you want to get an assistant, is really, really helpful, because that takes the emotion out of it for you. You tell them what they're doing, what to do, and you have someone else do it so that you don't have those emotions connected to it, right? So that's probably how I deal with inviting. It's probably not like other people, but that's okay. I'm not like other people. What works for you might not work for Jody. It might not work for Micah. What works for Micah sometimes doesn't work for me. And yeah, she's a top coach, but sometimes it doesn't work for me. So that's okay. I got to find what works for me with what I deal with. Okay. Oh yeah, Jody, you saw my son's picture, huh? I'm not kidding you. It was like, I don't know, black eye like that. And he had a skull fracture. And it looked so black that it looked almost necrotic, like it was going to slough off of his face. It's terrible. Joelle, I love your question. As a coach who has personally sponsored coaches with social anxiety, What can I do to help them deal or overcome? I think it's really important to know, if you know your coaches have social anxiety or whatever their fears are, it's really important to know how they react when they're in a bad place. When I'm in a bad place and I'm super anxious, I withdraw. I don't interact in team pages. I don't interact in message threads. I don't even message my coach back. Okay. So that's how I deal. And what I've told Micah is, you need to reach out to me and just check in with me the second you notice that I'm not there. If I'm not checking into the team page for like 2 days in a row, there's an issue for me. So knowing that about your coach, and then just being real. Like at the end of the day, yes, we're running businesses, but we are all people and we're all on a team. And I feel really strongly that you're only as strong as a team as your weakest link, right? And it's your job as a team to like lift each other up and help each other know that you're all really there for each other. And so that's how I want my team to work. That's what I really truly believe. We're people first. When someone's struggling on your team and you're their coach, take the business out of it. Take the business out of it, because they're people first. And whatever they're dealing with, often it usually comes back to they're not making themselves a priority. So they need to just get back to the basics. But if no one wants to feel like a number, no one wants to feel like that's all that matters to them, like about that. So connect with them and just know, like, take the business out of it, ask them how they're doing otherwise, and just know what their triggers are. I guess that's the biggest thing for me. I hope that helps. Any other thoughts, questions? Ask me anything. I'm a freaking open book, but I will tell you right now that 2.5 years ago, there was no way I would ever speak to you guys today. Yeah, freaking right. I'm like, sorry, Jody, I'm busy. No. Thoughts, questions?
Sorry, I was just reading comments, but thank you so much. I don't know if you can hear me. My mic is covered.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you so much. I know that a lot of people are struggling with this, and as you were describing the things that you go through, I'm like, oh my gosh, I do the exact same thing. Like when you were mentioning the first 15 minutes before you came on here, like my best friend is on this call and she will tell you that we've made so many plans before, and then the day of I'm like, you know what, I really don't want to do this today.
That's me.
And yep. She feels the same, so it's nice that we can, like, that's their friendship. But yeah, thank you so much for sharing your story, and I think someone else had a question.
You're welcome. Yeah. Oh, I like this one. How do you overcome the no responses that you get without letting it destroy you? Have you read? See, people used to tell me stuff like this on calls all the time, and I'd be like, I've heard that before 700 times, but I'm going to say it to you again. No means not right now. And when you really truly understand that no means not right now for someone, like, it really takes the emotion out of it. It really does, because I have had people, I'll tell you, I've had people come 2 years down the road that have told me no probably 5 or 6 times, that suddenly are like, okay, that's it, Jessica. I keep watching you and I need to do this. It just means whatever's going on in their life right now, the timing's not right. And that's okay. It is a seed planted, legit seed planted. And those people will come back to you for their help. And the most important, the way for me to not feel like icky about it, because, you know, it's vulnerable to invite someone and then have them to come back and be like, nope. I put those people on another list and I make sure that I check in with them and still be their friend after they tell me no. Like I still comment and like their posts and all of that so that they don't think that the only reason I'm their friend was to invite them. So do you guys have the funnel system, Judy? I read your name like I didn't know that your name is Jody. See, this is one of those things that I'm going to hang up and be like, I called her Judy. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm going to call you Judy from now on every day. But do you have the funnel system paperwork and how that works? I think it was shared in Carl's group. If you don't have it, I'll send it to you.
Which one?
It's called the funnel system, and it's like a tracking system.
I'm pretty sure, but I don't think anybody's done it.
Okay, I'll send it to you. You guys can, it's downstairs.
But that was at the very beginning of the group, right?
Yeah, very beginning of the group. I love it because you just write down your connections and who you're connecting with, and then you write the date that you commented on their stuff. And then 2 days later, you just take that list and you just look them up and you make sure that you liked and commented on their recent stuff. And so I have a form like that for my people that say no to me, so that I can go back and like make sure that I'm still checking in with them. I don't just like write them off completely. The other thing is, I think that can be really defeating is when you have coaches quit. I've had lots of coaches quit, and that feels like a huge no, doesn't it? That makes you feel like, oh, I suck. They don't want to do this. But all it means is that something in their life right then wasn't working. Something wasn't working. And I have had 3 coaches quit and come back because they realized it after they were gone, how much they needed it. Kind of like Shakeology. Dude, the first time I tasted that, I was like, no. But it wasn't until I was drinking it consistently, I acquired a taste for it because, hello, my taste buds were so messed up from the crap I was eating.
Right.
It was Shakeology. You don't notice how much it's benefiting your life until you don't have it. And then you realize, holy crap, that was making me feel so much better. And that's kind of how this business is too. So don't write those people off either. They're just everybody goes through crap. I can tell you when my son was abused, I was the worst coach. I built myself to diamond and lost it this many times. Like legit, not just like, oh shoot, I dropped for a week. No, like lost it down to emerald, built it back up. Lost it down to emerald, built it back up. Lost it down to coach, built it back up. Okay? So like that crap happens, and you can still be successful and have a business and earn an income when that crap happens. You can. Because if I can, you can. Because I'm the person that wants to hide in the closet all the time. I spoke on Candace and Cozy's call one time, and I legit, I got off the call and I said to my husband, I'm overstimulated, I'm overwhelmed, I'm going to be in the closet. And I sat in the closet. Like, that's how I dealt. And just
because our house now, my bathroom is attached to the bedroom, and then the walk-in's behind it. So I always just say I'm going to the bathroom, and I like lie on the floor in the closet.
Yeah, see? Yeah, it just, I think when you talk about that kind of stuff and you're real about that kind of stuff that people probably would normally judge me for, I think it makes you realize that we're all the same. Mm-hmm. It's totally normal. Everybody's normal. Everybody who isn't normal, it's the normal people that you have to be worried about. Those people that think they're normal, there's something wrong with them. They are not being true to themselves because we're all a little bit crazy. And that's okay. It's okay. It's okay to be just who you are. I don't know how many of you follow top coaches. I don't know where you guys are at in your businesses, but I used to look at other coaches and be like, I can't be like them. Shoot. I can't be like them. And I realized that that's the point. The point is that I'm not like them. My business can't work if I'm trying to be them. My business can only work if I'm trying to be me. And the real me wants to pee myself when I go to an amusement park because there's too many people and they might be in my bubble. The real me has a successful photography business. But my husband comes with me to almost every shoot because I have a meltdown and I have a fear of meeting new people. Okay? That's okay. It's okay to just be true to who you are. Work on the things that you want to improve and realize that you don't have to be perfect because nobody likes perfect. Who likes a perfect person anyway? They're no fun. And then I feel like I can't even, it's like going to your grandma's house and it was perfectly clean and she had like plastic on the couches and you didn't feel like you could even sit on the couches because like you might get something dirty. That's what perfect people feel like to me. Like, I can't talk to you. That's no. Okay. Reading more. How do you add people when your anxiety prevents you from even requesting people? Like, I can't breathe when I ask people. I only get so far with friends and family. One at a time, 5 at a time. Take it slow. Like, be true to your anxiety. Own that you're an anxious person, but don't let it rule your life. Okay? You can say to yourself out loud, I don't want to invite people. I'm scared to do this, but I'm going to do this because what if this person is the one person that I can change their life? How many of you guys have gotten a message back from someone that says, oh my gosh, you've changed my life? I've sent that message to my coach. Thank heaven for you, because who knows where I would be if you had not provided this, introduced me to this opportunity. And I wholeheartedly legit believe that. Don't hold someone else's destiny in your mouth. That's a Bonnie Engel quote that I love. Don't hold someone else's dreams and life and destiny in your mouth. I can talk to the same person that Jody can talk to, that Andrea Krause here is one of my coaches on the call. She can talk to all three of us could talk to the same person and say the exact same things. And that person would probably only connect with one of us the best, right? So that person might have gotten an invite from 7 other Beachbody coaches, but there will be the people that they need you. And if you don't reach out to them, like, what's that book called? 5 People You Meet in Heaven. Have you guys ever read that book? The 5 People You Meet in Heaven. It's a book about how, like, one choice that you make can affect someone's entire life. It, like, the path that you go down, you have that power to affect someone's life just by, like, the little choices you're making every day. I met my husband on a blind date that I almost didn't show up to because I don't like meeting new people. So I almost didn't go. What if I'd never gone because I was afraid? I wouldn't be married to my husband. I wouldn't have the kids there. Dude.
Like, what? That's crazy.
It is crazy. And, okay, this is another. So I only went because I owed his sister a favor. His sister's like 10 years older than him. And I genuinely like helping people, right? So she's 10 years older than him. I had babysat her kids for like ever and ever and ever. And she was like, Jessica, my brother just woke up with this girl that he's been dating her for 5 years. Like, he legit doesn't even know how to date. Can you just take him on a date? And I was like, yeah, for you, I'll do that. And I'll be helping him. I think that's like the only reason I showed up. So then I went and I was like, dude, I like this guy a lot. And he drove me home and he pulled into my driveway and he stopped the car. And, you know, that's the point where normal people like get out, like let you out and walk you to your door. He was just like, have a good night. And I was like, oh. I was like, walk of shame up to my house by myself. Like, I was stuck. What happened? Anyways, but like, there are times in your life, I think everybody can think back to times in your life where one decision that you made changed your whole life. You would not be where you are today if not for that one decision. And you have the opportunity to be that turning point for someone else. You absolutely hold that power in your hands. And that's a really, really like important responsibility. So when you realize that it's not just like they're doing you a favor, you're doing them a favor by inviting them to this, by becoming their friend, because you might be the only positive person in their newsfeed when you invite them to add them as a friend. You don't know. You can't overthink it like that. Even though I do, like every time, you just gotta like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 before your brain catches up. 5-second rule, read that one. It will help you with that fear. Okay. Okay. I don't have a problem friending and commenting, but I can't seem to connect non-Beachbody conversations to invites. What would you suggest? I would write those down on I'm a pen and paper person. So if you're like an Excel spreadsheet person or something fancy like that, then make a sheet, but I'm not. Write a list of those people. Like, I love this girl. We're like connecting. Our conversations are going really well, but I don't want to make it weird by throwing out a Beachbody coach invite. Right? Write them down and make a post or make a, I'll read you one of mine. This is one I sent today. Hey, I was just thinking about you. I don't know if you know this, but I work with women in small group settings and one-on-one to help them achieve their health and fitness goals. I'm not sure if you're working towards any goals, but I'm opening a new group soon, and I'd love to chat with you about it if it's something you'd be interested in. Make that in your phone in the notes section. That's going to be weird lighting. And then just copy and paste it to those people that you're feeling that way about. Because, yes, I'll copy and paste it here. That's honestly the only way that I get over it all, is because I think the invite can be really general and basic, and when they respond is when you make more of a connection, and it's easier to take the conversation where you want it to go. But you have to just like, you know, free groups are another easy way. If you've never run a free group, that's an easy way to get over that fear and just invite 1 million people, because there's nothing that like, they don't have to pay money or do anything to be in a free group. So it makes it really easy to invite too, if that makes sense. Am I coming to Summit? Dude, no, I'm not. I know. I get shamed for that all the time, but I'm working on it, you guys. And one of these times I will. And I will get over myself.
Well, that's why I was just asking, because I figured that would be like crazy.
Yeah, I've never been. And even the last diamond retreat that Micah did, it was like a 3-hour drive, and I was totally going to do it. And then I had a full-on panic attack before, and I never went. So being like in a group setting like that is terrifying to me. My sweet coaches on my team, I love them. Emily, Andrea, and Aubrey, they're like, we have room. And I know them. It's not like they're scary. But yeah, I'm working on that. Holy crap. That's seriously, if you don't believe how freaked out I am about that. I don't know how to copy and paste that here, because I'm going to send it to Jody, and Jody will share you my thing, because I don't know how to take it from my phone to this when it's on my computer, but I'm not on the Zoom on here. Am I dumb? Okay.
Yeah, send it to me.
Let's see.
Did you get the one from Wendy? How do you overcome the no responses that you get without letting it destroy you? Did you do that one?
How do I overcome the no? Where did I know? So what was it? How do you overcome the no without letting it destroy you?
Mm-hmm.
I guess I kind of did. In that no means not right now. Like really realizing that, like, okay, I invited this girl and I thought she'd be an awesome coach. And I've been following her and we like connected and I just was like, okay, Jessica, be brave, invite her. It'll be perfect. She'll say yes. She's going to say yes. I'm talking myself on my affirmations before. She's going to say yes. She's going to say yes. She wants to be on your team. She thinks you're awesome. She's going to blow it up with you. She's going to be like your best friend ever. And I invite her and she was kind of mean. And it was like, no, that's not something I can consider right now. No, not even right now. No, that's not something I'd ever consider, I think is what she said. And I was like, oh, shoot. Crap. She posted the next day that her dad had prostate cancer and died in 24 hours from diagnosis. Well, duh. That wasn't something that she was ready for right then. And is that my fault? No. I have no idea. And some people are private. They're not going to share that information. So you legit have no idea what's happening in someone's life to know why they're saying no to you. But I think as someone with social anxiety, my natural reaction is they said no because they don't think I'm fit enough to, they're like not inspired by me. They don't think I'm good enough. They'll probably go to Micah because she's cooler than I am. That's not why. It's not why. Okay? It's absolutely not. There's so many other things. Maybe they had just lived, like they fought with their husband. They got in their car. They went for a drive. They read your message and they were like, F you. No. You know, like you just don't know what is happening in their lives. So you can't think of it as it's you. You can't let it destroy you because it's not you. It's like that. It's not you. It's me. Like legit. It's most of the time them. Or they're too afraid to tell you that they're paycheck to paycheck and they can't. Or, yeah, I mean, there's a million different reasons why someone's going to say no and why another time might be better. Also, when something that really bugs me, you know, when you message someone and then they just don't message you back, is that the worst? You just want to be like, just tell me no. I can take it. You can take it. Tell me no. But they don't. Okay. But then how many of you have read something and read a message and then your kid's like, Mom! You're like, yeah, okay, hon. And you walk away. I scrolled back in my newsfeed or in my message thread because or not my message thread, my inbox. So I was trying to invite a ton of people to my free group. You guys, I didn't reply to people because I forgot. I did that to other people. I'm the worst. People are like, gosh, Jessica, I'd love to join your free group if you just messaged me back how to join it. You know? Like, so yeah, don't let that bug you either because it happens to everybody. It happens to all of us. Or, oh, here's another one that happens to me all the time. Mom, can I play a game on your phone? Yeah, sure. Here you go, buddy. And then he opens my messages. And I think he checks into groups and like reads stuff, but he can't even read. He's just like scrolling through. And then I'm like, I swear, I never read that. I never read that. And he's like, or he'll tell me, he'll be like, Mom, look, Micah sent you a message. Dude, why are you on Facebook? I thought you were playing a game. Oh no. What's happening to my phone? Hello? Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
My screen is black.
Uh-oh.
I wonder if I'm...
Maybe this froze.
Maybe. I'm going to show you through my whole house because if you can see me. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Oh, weird. I'm going to plug my computer in because maybe it's going to die and I just didn't...
Oh. It died. Well, I'm going to take... I'm going to take that as our note that we're, like, done. But I wanted to hop back on so I can tell her how awesome that was. How amazing she did. I think that was super helpful she said a lot of things that I was like, oh, crap, I didn't think I had social anxiety, but I do all those things. So I think that there's something that each of us can take from that. I hope that you took note. I hope that you feel a little bit more inspired and feel a little bit more like you've got this, and that, you know, we all have these tendencies and these fears and these insecurities, and that we can take it and use it for fuel as a team, to rely on each other more, and to step outside of our comfort zones a little bit more, so that we can overcome our fears. And Jillian, what do you do with them after you write them down? I will look at them every day and turn them into your affirmations, and use some of these steps that she gave us here to overcome them. I think part of it is just recognizing what it is that's holding us back. And, you know, for me, one of the things that she said, what was it at the end? Crap, I just lost it. But it was one of the things that I realized that I do all the time. Like, how do you turn a fear into an affirmation? So let's say mine is that I think I'm being annoying to people. I could say I have value in what I share, and people need to hear my message, instead of feeling, no, I'm just annoying, so I'm not going to say anything at all. So, I don't think she's going to hop back on. All right, so I will message her and tell her how fabulous we think that she is. But I really love that, and I hope that you guys will even listen. Oh, there she is.
Hi, my computer died. That's okay.
How fabulous we think that you were.
Oh, you're so nice. Look at that angle on my face. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, anyways, okay, go ahead. You can wrap it up.
Yeah, we were just saying that, or I was saying that I feel like I had a lot of little epiphanies of things that I do and say to myself, even when I didn't think that I really had social anxiety, but realizing that, oh crap, I do like most of those things. And not really knowing that, you know, it has a label. And just feeling like we're not alone, and that we really need to, I think, own it as a team and come together more and use that blessing that it is to have like-minded people that we can feed off of each other and come to each other and rely on each other. And yeah, so I really appreciate you taking time to share all that with us. I know that there's a lot of personal information in there, and you could have just said, I am busy and I can't do it anymore, and I would have been like, oh, okay, what a jerk. Okay. So we really appreciate you coming out of your comfort zone like that. And I personally feel like I learned a ton.
Yay.
And I took a ton of notes. But do share that system that you're using.
Yeah, like a script. Oh, I could probably, I'm on my phone now, so I bet I can share it.
Okay. And then the thing from Carl's group.
Yeah, I'll do that too. I'll send it to you.
Perfect. Love it. Okay, you guys, you better copy and paste that before I close this group up. Love it.
Jody, will you take, Judy, your name's Judy now. Did you know that? Will you take a screenshot with everybody's faces? Because I'm probably going to talk about my fears tonight.
Yes, that's awesome. I definitely will.
Because I can only get like 4 people on my screen at a time.
I'm on my husband's laptop, so I don't know how to screenshot.
If you can't, I'll just screenshot Let's see. What if I turn it this way? Can I get more people? Nope. 4. 4. I just want to see all your pretty faces. And the faces that don't have faces.
Like, Jose, Jose. I'm like boiling to death.
I should have taken one earlier.
I know. I always think of a lot of it at the last second. Okay, I'm gonna use my phone because this isn't a Mac and I don't know how to screenshot on a PC. Okay, everybody smile. I can see the reflection of my Hopefully one of those is good.
You're the coolest. If you'll message me those, you're awesome.
Okay, well, thank you so much. I'm so excited. I am going to post this for the rest of the team, and I really feel like it's kind of like a breakthrough for us, so I will be forever grateful that you shared with us.
I think you're the coolest. So if you'll send me a copy of that, that'd be awesome too.
Okay, I will do that right now. Okay, have a good night,
Okay,
everybody.
bye guys.
Bye.
Thanks for having me.